it's always, um, oh, got it. Thank you. It's an always fatal neurodegenerative disease where you lose connection with your muscles. So basically, what happens is physically, you notice symptoms physically first. My mother lost her voice early on. That's a particular type of ALS, but as the disease progresses, it tends to happen in most, not all, but most people with the disease. It strikes pretty much any age. It does right here say 40 to 70, but there are many people, unfortunately, much younger that are starting to develop ALS. No real known cause. That's one of the research. One of the things that's very active right now is the research on what is causing ALS. A high prevalency, sometimes they think in military, people that have served in the military. Not always, though. Athletes. Steve Gleason, I'll put a plug in for that. Steve Gleason, the Gleason, Team Gleason is a foundation for Steve Gleason. He was a professional athlete, professional football player. He has a documentary that is fascinating to watch. It documents his journey. He has, since that documentary, he's won the gold medal of on presidential, some medal, I don't even know which one it is, because of his research in technology and the development of technology for people living with ALS. He is an amazing human. I encourage you to watch that documentary. It's not easy to watch, but it's a great look into what the journey can be for someone. Let's see, there's no cure or treatment currently. Another big part of research is drug trials for extending people's life by right now, months, maybe a few years. Dr. Wedlake's more versed on that than I am, I'm sure. But they are looking into drugs that help extend life, help extend your ability to move, hopefully reverse. I don't know that there may be some drugs out there that they're working on to kind of reverse some of the symptoms, but again, that's where all the dollars for research go, are into all these different things, IT, technical ways to help people with ALS to continue to live their lives and have their freedom, drug trials to help advance medical research so we can hopefully find a cure or something to treat ALS. It's a progressive loss of muscle control. You can see this here. Gradually prohibits your ability to speak, swallow, walk, grasp objects, move, and eventually breathe. All of these were symptoms that my mother went through. And as a matter of fact, just very quickly, we're going to do a quick activity. You don't have to get up. I would just like you to, this is one opportunity for you to kind of see what it's like to live with ALS. In no way is this meant to be insensitive. This is an actual physical reality of what my mother went through. It's a great way to really get into that person living with ALS, what it's like. So if you would, take your hands while you're sitting, fold your fingers in. You're not fisting, you're just folding them in. Fold your thumb in. And now I would like try to pick up your cell phone or a piece of paper or a utensil, something. See if you can pick it up. See if you can use it. It is almost impossible. Okay. And I tried. If it's in your pocket, forget about it. I don't know if you're gonna have to like do something. And again, this is a real example of what, for instance, my mom went through, and most, I would say, eventually, people living with ALS go through this. And so it's very difficult. And so just your hand, losing that ability is just physically is difficult. Imagine what it does emotionally and mentally. Then imagine not being able to walk at the same time, or she was in a motorized wheelchair, or she was fed with a tube. Okay. She, bless her little heart, her head sat here and she kind of had this position. She did not choose to use an eye gaze machine. That is one of the amazing things about the technology that's been developed through research. If you can't pick up your phone, many of us could voice activate it, which thank God, if you didn't have the ability to pick it up, at least you could voice activate. And even in your home with Siri and what are the other ones? Yeah, Alexa, turn on my lights. I mean, that is a real treat for someone that can't physically do it because it allows you that independence and that freedom. My mom did not choose to have an eye-gaze machine. Could she have? Yes, probably. The technology was there when she had it. A lot has happened. When she was first diagnosed, the Ice Bucket Challenge, she was diagnosed July of 2014. The Ice Bucket Challenge hit in August of 2014. So that's when I even had to Google ALS. When they told me, I was like, what's ALS? I Googled it. Oh, I'd heard of Lou Gehrig's disease. But now, if you say ALS, most people go right to the Ice Bucket Challenge and they think, oh, okay, yeah, I know, I've heard of this. So much has happened since then. Even our guest here, Sharon, the Oklahoma ALS Association in Oklahoma was nowhere near developed like it is now. So all of that funding helped to allow us to have these kind of chapters and make it more prevalent and allow us to have those things to help advocate. And now our care services manager and our events manager, which is Sharon, we're allowed to have, I mean, we have these walks. We can assist so many people in the state of Oklahoma that currently have ALS. There's quite a few. We have loan closets, we have outreach, we have connection. We've got, these people have a place to come the moment they learn of their diagnosis. Back in 2014, it was a lot harder to find. So that's another reason I choose to advocate, is just because it's a shock to receive that information. And so when people know there's somewhere to go and can get something, at least it's going to help them, because you immediately need a caregiver. That's the first thing I tell anyone when I learn of their diagnosis. I'm like, they say, what do we do? I say, okay, first let's get a caregiver. Let's find that, because that's going to be someone that you need, whether it's your spouse. Well, Jeannie had her spouse. She had me. We found Diana. Well, we were given Diana by the grace of God. Thank you. She was a godsend. So anyway, that was the first thing. Some more facts about ALS. Right here, there is no cure. Every 90 minutes, someone is diagnosed, someone passes away from ALS. This video I'm going to show you real quick, because I'm ready to wrap it up pretty much. And we can, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. This is a video that I have. It kind of shows the progression. It's got sappy music to it. I hope it doesn't make you cry. I hope it doesn't make me cry. It might. That is okay. That's the other thing my dad and I wanted to share. When someone has this diagnosis, it is so important to them that they get to remain, that things remain as normal as possible, because daily something changes. You lose something. Eventually, my mom, adamant, she did not want to use a walker. Didn't want to. Mr. Push over here, like, right, pushy, he's kind of pushy, was like, no, Jeannie, you have to use your walker. I said, no, she'll get there. At some point, she won't have an option. Same thing with the wheelchair, same thing with the motorized wheelchair. So to provide just normal life for them is so important. So with this video, I hope it kind of gives you just a quick picture. It's about 3 minutes. And then just know that anyone in your life that you come in contact that's diagnosed with ALS, you've got to talk to them like normal. You have to treat them like normal. That's what they crave, because normalcy fades away every day, a little bit every time. You lose your freedom to drive, you lose your freedom to speak, some of them, or your freedom to speak with your voice. There's a voice out there. It's computerized, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. It's just a quick look through her walk with ALS.
take me back to the start. I was just guessing at numbers and figures, pulling the puzzles apart. Questions of science, science and progress, but not speak as loud as my heart. Tell me you love me, come back and haunt me. Oh, when I rush to the start, running in circles, chasing tails, coming back as we are. Nobody said it was easy. Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start.
Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that video, just a little peek into her life. Advocacy. I choose to this in a couple weeks is the Tulsa Walk for ALS. We have 2 here in Oklahoma, one in Oklahoma City, in the Norman area, and then one in Tulsa. Money from that is given to the ALS Association goes to all sorts of aspects of ALS. There's research, there's genetic research. Could I have the gene for ALS? Possibly. Have I been genetically tested? Not yet. Do I wonder every day if I could have it or my children could? I do. I think about it. But funding for that in genetics is huge right now, trying to find that genetic code of what actually causes ALS. How can my mom had sporadic, which is doesn't know how you get it kind of thing. Does it come from the environment? Does it come, all sorts of aspects. So there's that form of research. Legislative advocacy, we've done that as well. Twice so far, we've speak with legislators in early June. I love that part, probably because not only do I have the gene for education, but I also have the gene for talking, and I got that from him. So yeah, Lisa agrees. So to advocate on Capitol Hill, yes, if I could do that full time, I would love to. It also goes into technology, like I said. And then locally for Oklahoma ALS, we've got loan closets, care services, all kinds of things. So you have lots of things just even today that you could give your dollars to. If you're interested at all in this, I have put this QR code up. So as an individual, if you would like to donate, perfectly fine. You can just take a picture of the QR code. It'll take you right to the ALS Walk website for the Tulsa website, and you can just follow the prompts. As an organization or as a club, if you all are interested in sponsoring the Tulsa Walk, that's something too. Again, I know that you have so many options when you choose to give. And I hope today you've just gotten a small glimpse or a little bit of information about ALS. There's so much more to talk about. And I'm happy to talk about it. I won't keep you today, but I hope you've gotten just a little glimpse of what ALS does. It's horrific. It's horrible. It's the worst thing on the planet in my book. but there is hope through research and through education. And so I just hope that you've gotten a little bit of glimpse so that if and when you ever come across someone that has ALS, that you feel compelled to remain a, influence in their life and help donate, or just keep visiting with them. That's my other big thing besides getting a caregiver, is stay a part of their life, stay engaged with them, because their time is fleeting. I've said it too before when Sharon and I have been talking, it's like kind of living in the matrix. Time is just, the clock is going and you feel like the clock is going, but at the same time, it just slows down. You literally slow. You can't move, you can't speak, you slow down, but the clock doesn't. So just being engaged in their lives. So did I say everything you want me to say, Dad? I got notes. He gave me notes. I don't know why none of them are surprised. So anyway, thank you so much for having me today. If anybody has any questions or even something in depth, I don't want to put Dr. Wedlake on the spot, but he's the neurologist in the room. So he's truly the expert, and or Sharon. She is the expert in event planning and catering and everything Oklahoma ALS Association. So yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Sure, you can. And I'll be putting it right to our Tulsa Walk team. Yeah, and I think there's probably many of us, if not everyone in this room, might know someone that knows someone or has had contact with someone. There's that 6 degrees of separation, because unfortunately it is very prevalent. So, all right, I think that's it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing the very personal reason why you advocate for ALS research. We'll do a cash donation on the table. So if you want to leave behind some cash or even a check, we'll collect those after the meeting and donate them to the cause. We'll also leave up the QR code after our 4-way test. I'll switch it back. So if you want to grab that before you leave as well. All right, if there's nothing else for the good of the club, thank you so much to our guests and visitors for joining us today, and we will end with the 4-way test.